The Kargil War, also known as the Kargil conflict, was a significant armed conflict between India and Pakistan that took place between May and July 1999 in the Kargil district of Jammu and Kashmir, along the line of control, Ladakh. The war was a result of the infiltration of Pakistani soldiers and militants into positions on the Indian side of the Ladakh, and it ended with India regaining control of these territories. Here's a detailed breakdown of the Kargil War. The Kargil War was part of the larger Kashmir conflict that has persisted between India and Pakistan since their independence in 1947. The Ladakh, a ceasefire line established after the 1947 and 1965 wars, divided the state of Jammu and Kashmir between the two countries. In 1972, the Simla Agreement was signed, where both countries agreed to respect the Ladakh, but tensions remained. The Kargil sector, due to its high altitude and rugged terrain, had been largely quiet since the 1971 war, but was considered a strategic location for both sides. During the winter of 1998-99, elements of the Pakistani military, along with militants, began infiltrating into the Indian side of the Ladakh, occupying positions on the peaks of the Kargil mountains. They sought to sever the link between the Ladakh region and the Kashmir Valley and put pressure on Indian supply routes. The Pakistani military's plan to capture strategic heights in Kargil was called Operation Vijay. Pakistan hoped to internationalize the Kashmir issue by provoking a military response from India in the region. In early May 1999, Indian patrols discovered the infiltrators in the Kargil sector. Initially thought to be militants, it soon became clear that the infiltration was much larger and involved regular Pakistani troops. India launched Operation Vijay to clear the Kargil sector of the infiltrators. The Indian Army, backed by the Indian Air Force, IAF, mounted a massive offensive. The IAF's involvement was known as Operation Safed Sagar. The conflict occurred at high altitudes, ranging from 13,000 to 18,000 feet. This presented logistical challenges for both sides, with soldiers having to fight in freezing temperatures and on difficult terrain. The IAF played a crucial role by carrying out airstrikes on enemy positions. However, air operations were limited as the pilots had to avoid crossing the Ladakh to prevent the conflict from escalating further. Indian troops faced tough resistance, with infiltrators well entrenched in bunkers on high ground. Despite the challenges, Indian forces gradually reclaimed key peaks such as Tiger Hill and Tololing, which were critical to securing the Kargil area. By the end of July 1999, Indian forces had successfully cleared the Kargil sector of Pakistani infiltrators. On July 26, 1999, India declared victory in Kargil, a day that is now commemorated annually as Kargil Vijay Diwas. Throughout the conflict, Pakistan faced diplomatic isolation. The US and other nations urged Pakistan to withdraw its troops. Under international pressure, Pakistan eventually ordered a retreat, although it maintained that the infiltrators were not its soldiers. India lost approximately 527 soldiers, with over 1,300 wounded. The war also claimed the lives of several key officers, such as Captain Vikram Batra, who became a national hero for his bravery. Pakistan's casualties are estimated to be between 357 and 4,000, although official figures from Pakistan remain disputed. The Kargil War led to political upheaval in Pakistan, where then Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif was eventually overthrown in a military coup by General Pervez Musharraf, the architect of the Kargil conflict. The conflict severely damaged Indo-Pak relations and led to a freeze in diplomatic ties. It took years for peace talks to resume. The war exposed shortcomings in India's intelligence and military preparedness. In response, India took steps to modernize its military, improve intelligence capabilities, and ensure better coordination between different branches of the armed force. Kargil highlighted the strategic importance of a high-altitude region. Control over the heights provided a significant tactical advantage. India managed to keep the conflict localized and avoid a full-scale war, largely due to its decision not to cross the Ladakh, which garnered international support. The Kargil War remains a symbol of Indian military resilience. It also spurred nationalism and patriotism, with war heroes like Captain Vikram Batra.